Alright, not, definitely not my best, but, obviously I just had to rush a little bit there at the end. Not because my stance was starting to get too difficult. I know sometimes that's the case if I've been doing it a little too long, but no. This time, I just decided to have some fun, just get through it quick. I don't expect this stream to be very long, but thought I'd have one, I gotta keep up my routine, right? So, a little bit of good news. This, not that, this is my in-progress jong. Yeah, I'm happy with it, it's not perfect cylinder, it's not factory made. It's was a treat, as you can tell by its shape not being perfect. I don't care. In fact, I kind of like it. It gives it a nice character. It's unique. No other jong is ever going to have this particular shape because it is the log from the tree. And besides, as I'm using it, look, it doesn't particularly matter where I hit it. As it turns out, human body isn't always the same either, right? So I don't mind. Like I said, I like the uniqueness of it. Anyway, my good news. I have now registered for a, I don't know what you call them, a wood, craft, metal, computers, fabric, 3D printing, yada, 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 hobby shop, studio. I'm now all registered in. I did that on Tuesday. And then yesterday I went to the new member orientation, mandatory. I stayed up late. Meow. I stayed up late for me to go to this thing. I start work very, very early in the morning. I start work generally at 4 a.m. So for me to stay up last night to go to this evening orientation, I didn't get as much sleep this morning before work. But turns out I was early, like a day early. So I'm actually going to the orientation again shortly after I'm done this, maybe an hour or so later. But I thought I'd show this real quick. It is going to be going to that location, and I am going to be finishing it up. I've got the arms not here in my apartment with me. They're down in my vehicle already. They're going to be worked on. They're going to be finished. For instance, these holes, all three of these, they're too big, right? I did some, I read the blueprints wrong a little bit. They were old blueprints, had been copied, recopied, maybe not the best copies, so it was kind of hard to see the measurements, and it wasn't metric. So I have to go back and what I'm going to do, and I figured out I can do this, the arms that I have, I need to cut a little bit from, but I've already cut a bit off to, shape them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick them inside these little, not the arms, but the some slivers that I cut off from them. I'm going to stick them inside here, and that's going to fill up just enough space. And you can't really see it all that well on camera, I'm sure. But that's all torn up. It's not very smooth in there. So placing a flat piece to hold that down, glue all that down, that's going to make it just look a little better, I think. Make it look not so shredded as I was chiseling away, and yeah, it's not sand smooth, right? Like I can take off little wood chips from it. So I'm excited about that. I should be getting that done. I don't know how long it's going to take me. Hopefully not too long. As you can see, this is mostly done. I need to put a leg somewhere about here. About that's gonna get cut off. Already got the start of one of my what do you call it, like the bracer, the bench press, back press. I'm sorry, I don't work out, obviously. Need to put another one down there. Need to build the stand for it, the frame. And I need to size and shape in the arms. I need to get a leg, all that stuff. So it's going to take a little bit still, but I'm very excited. My plan is, after work some days, probably twice a week, go straight over to the studio and get to work for a couple hours a day. So I'm really excited. If all goes well, I may make more than just the one. May make different signs. I have a few others that I'm working on that are just fun. So hopefully that goes well for me. I also obviously need to sand it down a little bit, maybe stain it, and I'm gonna engrave a couple of graphics into it, so, my logo and things like that. So yeah, I thought I'd show that off. While I'm doing that though, I can't quite do this without real arms because, mine are A, in my vehicle, and B, not finished. But that's not necessarily a bad thing because having them on both ends might make it a little bit easier to demonstrate how things function. First thing I kind of wanted to mention is jong distance, right? The jong teaches us a lot of different things. Depending on who you ask, you might get slightly different answers, but one of the things it does teach us is how to target, where our target is, and our distancing. That distancing is here. This is my fight distance. I don't fight back here, even if I can hit it. This is not my fight distance. I fight up nice and close, so that when I hit, as I turn and step, I'm going through. Poor cat. She's so good at Wing Chun, but she can't bear to see me do it. So yeah, that's our jong distance, right? We fight here, and one of the clues for that, or something that to keep in mind, is with our arms being about here, right? That is not a fist in our interpretations, our understanding. That's not a fist. That is an elbow, right? Realistically, the jong arms actually would go out a little bit further. So we're always here. That's our range. That's where we fight. We're nice and close the whole time. I know some people have different ideas on distancing and, you got your ranges. Okay, yeah, you do. You've got your kicking ranges. People say you have to be so far back. Yeah, we don't. We kick nice and close because we're sunk, and all of our kicks tend to be about there. They might go a little bit higher depending on how you can kick, right? But we don't kick. Oh God, it's been a while. I don't know if I can still do this. Don't kick up high, right? The only time you might kick somebody in the head is if their head is about here. Most of our kicks end up knee height because we're taking out the knee, right? Not head on. I don't have my jong leg. We don't head on to the knee because that's where it's braced. But from the side, it's not. And that obviously works from both sides, right? And all of that happens as you're moving. So as I turn, and my opponent turns with it, now that knee is exposed. marked up my jong. Look at that. I did that. These are new shoes. I didn't know how that would work out. One thing I kind of wanted to talk about though is geometry, is shapes, is basic engineering. I like to imagine Wing Chun using simple machines. So that means that things that we learned are the components of larger machines, things that we learned very, very early on in like elementary school. You have your inclined planes, you have your corkscrew, your pulleys, your levers, all of these different things. And all of those things are included in Wing Chun and can be exemplified here. So for instance, this really isn't the right size, you know, once I chop off that bottom and everything. So if I am underneath here, I don't need to lift up. That's going to cause a lot of strain on me and it's going to require me to have a lot of strength. But if all I'm doing is going forward, oh God, I'm scared. I don't want this to fall. If all I'm doing is going forward, you see how that lifts already? I'm coming underneath things. Sorry, this is just, I haven't done this with my my stabs in my broom. This is kind of fun. So that's one thing. We have to focus on like that inclined plane is to get underneath our opponent's root. And as we move forward with it, it causes their stance to lift. So when I said I don't work out, yeah, I don't lift, bro. I don't lift, brah. I do Wing Chun. It's all geometry. It's all physics. There's no magic to this. I can use my dong. Not my dong, but dong. And yes, I'm probably pronouncing that very horribly. It's a Safipa thing. Okay. I can come underneath. Now, as I've said before, this is all moving forward. I'm having to be very careful because of the balance and everything on this thing, but everything is going forward, not to the side. If I'm going sideways, I'm turning this, and I'm giving this person energy to use against me. Just like if they're coming sideways, whoop, there it goes. They're coming to the side. Yeah, all right, fine, go ahead. Drop the elbow. Right? Locked on. Center. I know my form isn't great here. Again, I'm doing this against not a real opponent. I'm doing it against something that is going to fall if I let it. Against arms that are not the right size and length that are moving like crazy and I'm doing way more than they're going to, and I fill in these holes. I just wanted to share that more than anything else. You have your lan tao. Lan. Bong. Bong. I want my elbow to drop. Elbow drop. Shift. Look at that. See that? It's facing me. It's right to my throat. But as I drop and I shift my hips in towards there, it misses. So as he comes at me, I hit. As he comes in, pawn, pawn to a left, strike, 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 whatever the case may be. I don't have much else planned today. Nobody's joining me in chat, and like I said, I didn't have a whole lot planned. I really wanted to show that off. I love you too, Joe. It just attacked me. Hits me in the jaw, but it's such a good friend. Okay, that's all I'm doing. I'm very excited about getting this thing finished, and I will show it off for sure as soon as it is. And who knows? Maybe I will end up making more. Maybe I'll make some different designs. Maybe I'll make something else. Who knows? Sorry for the terrible stream. It is what it is. They're not always going to be golden. In fact, less than 1% of a percent probably will be. But that's not the point of this exercise. The point of me doing these is for my own benefit, not yours.